Here's a Tech Talk video on running E85 on your Syclone and Typhoon. First, let me tell you the parts you need in order to run this fuel. First, you need a larger fuel pump. Stockish trucks can get by with a Walbro 255 liter per hour, but I definitely suggest going 340 and even the Walbro 450 and 525 liter per hour Hellcat pumps like pictured here. You also need to upgrade the in-tank wiring, as the stock wiring does not hold up to the higher amperage that these pumps put out. You also need larger fuel injectors. The stock injectors will not do the job. You need definitely 60-pound injectors or even the 80-pound injectors, which I always suggest, and that's the largest you could run on the stock ECM. If you need any more power than that, what 80s can put out, which is definitely low 11s, high 10s in a heavy Typhoon, you need to step up into a standalone ECU such as the Holly for you to run 120s, 160s, or whatever you need at that point. Can I run stock fuel lines? Yes, you can, as long as they are in good condition. I always suggest replacing the fuel filter each season, an adjustable fuel pressure regulator, and if you want to replace your fuel lines just for good insurance, I sell bullet fuel rails for higher flow. Now, the two options I always suggest to run this fuel. If you're planning on staying with the stock ECM, I would go with a turbo tweak chip. The beauty of this chip allows you to switch between pump gas and E85. In order for you to switch fuels, you need to run each fuel as low as possible, below quarter tank, for the tune to run properly. With a standalone ECM like a Holly, you could run a flex fuel sensor. That way the tune adjusts accordingly by itself. That way you don't have to switch fuels. The beauty of a flex fuel sensor is it reads the ethanol content in the fuel. That way you can run 93 and anything in between to go E85. What I usually do on the Holly EFI tunes, I adjust timing and boost accordingly per the ethanol content, so that way you don't have to worry. Now, what is E85 and how does it benefit my truck? E85 is ethanol based, which also contains alcohol. The alcohol allows for a cooler burning charge in the combustion chamber, and it's also rated at 105 octane. That way you can push a lot more boost and a lot more timing efficiently. Running pump gas on these trucks, I would not push them that much more than about a couple more pounds of boost over stock, and definitely not much timing over stock. These engines are not very efficient, especially stock heads. The combustion chambers are not very efficient. Now, if you're running Vortec heads or aluminum heads, you could definitely push them more on just pump gas. But why risk it? Run E85 or a race fuel if you definitely want to push it more than power than stock. I always suggest a fuel stabilizer, such as this Lucas brand for ethanol, and that just helps lubricate everything internally. Like I mentioned, E85 has alcohol in it, and this just helps lubricate all the internal components. I custom tune these trucks running turbo tweak and also Holly. I hold multiple records doing so. So if you have any questions on tuning your truck on E85, shoot me a message and we could schedule in and get you ripping down the street or the track. Thanks, guys.